I'm on the stage.
I'm coming.
I haven't got mine yet. Oh, there we go. I got it. Oh,
Yeah,
boys. Wait, what? 2,500 VC, what?
You're joking.
No fucking way. Yeah, I'm joking. Ah,
You're joking.
let's go. Yeah.
Imagine.
Drop a like in the next 5 seconds or you will shoot worse than Anti-Uzi on the 10K court. I wouldn't risk it. My personal all-time favorite, drop a like in the next 5 seconds because you just like me as a content creator. Like, come on, do you want me to keep making videos? Drop a like.
Alrighty, so tomorrow is Basketball Gods, and these are my tips on how you can win the event, what builds to bring into Gods, and what playstyle you should use to have more success and to put together a streak high enough to place top 5. Now, before the video begins, if you're already a comp player, it's probably not the video for you. If you've won Gods or you believe you can, it's probably also not the video for you. This is tips, tricks, how we did it. I've won the past 2 Gods. So this will be the 3-peat if we manage to pull off the miracle and win it on all servers. But also, before I do go any further, if you aren't already one of those top players, you have to be pretty close for this video to help you. I just want to be honest with my subs, so before I give away, any false hope, or you think this video might in some way be a miracle to win Gods, that's just not the case. If you aren't already within the top tier players in your server, you probably won't be able to win Gods. If you can't go into stage and compete with the teams that are in there, if you can't compete with every single team, like it be close or you win, you don't have a chance. I love an underdog, don't get me wrong. I hope someone proves me wrong, but yeah, if you can't go into stage and win at least one game out of a 5-game series against the best team in there, yeah, you can't win Gods. But that leads into step 1, and that is go into stage and play the best teams and test your gameplay. Take the hardest game available, go test your team, go test your builds, test your play style, make sure you're sorted, because from my experience in Gods, you will get 2 to 3 games you could lose. What I mean by that is there will be about 2 or 3 times where you verse a team, a good team, that could beat you. And we've experienced it. There was a game last Gods that if it didn't go our way, we could have lost. We got pretty lucky, sorry. So you will get these games, and these events, they're usually decided by those games. So last Gods, 5th for example, got knocked off by 1st, and I think they dropped out, or they may have just stayed by 1 game, but it comes down to the wire. For us, the game that we play, there's a video on my channel, of course it'll be at some point in this video as well, but if we didn't start ball in that game, we could have lost. We really could have, so yeah. But yeah, my point is, step 1, make sure you're ready, go into comp stage and verse everyone and anyone. Doesn't matter if you lose, just put yourself in that hot seat. It'll help you in the long run. It'll get you used to nerves. It'll get you used to shooting under pressure. And when the game comes, the game that will decide your Basketball Gods, the one that you will win or lose, you're ready. Okay, so that's important. Gameplay, again, I believe in every team you need a build that can ISO. Why? Well, if they don't have a lock, you need to ISO. ISO this year is the easiest way to score. So you just have quick first step on Hall of Fame, you speed boost off a hezi, and then you hop step. Super easy. It's the meta to scoring right now. If they jump, you wait and then score. If they help, so the corner or hash comes in, or you dot your corner, you dot your hash, that's a 3. If they have a lock, it's a little bit different. It's harder to score if you get switched onto a lock and you're running ball. I recommend running screens in that situation, a pick and pop, a pick and roll, whichever works perfectly for you. You do need a shooting center for that, of course. If you have an inside center, it's going to be harder, I guess, but lobs, whatever works for you, really. But play a 2-man game with your corner sitter, playing a support role, not really doing anything and just focusing on defense, being ready to shoot and spreading the floor. So yeah, make sure someone has that role. Someone needs to be the team player, and the reason for that is the less passes, the better, because you have obviously a less chance of getting sniped. People are spamming X in these events. make sure you don't throw it into their hand. And importantly as well, find chemistry within your team. Your defense specifically needs to be synchronized. So your switches, they need to be perfect. How you play high-low in instances, if you play sides, if you choose to play sides and they're going to split you, how you defend that needs to be decided. So yeah, there's a couple of things, but that's kind of the gameplay tips that I will give you. I want to go into the builds though and lineups, because for this event I think it's going to be important, and there's going to be way more legends this event. A lot of legends you will see this event. So yeah, let's look into the build. Alright, so we already know Gods is definitely one of the hardest events to win, because it takes one mistake, which means your lineup, it does need to be optimized. All your builds need to be maxed. I highly recommend having 99.9 overall going into it. Hopefully you can maintain that, but the basis of your lineup is that every single player can shoot. That's how I've played all my Gods. I think it's super important that everyone can shoot. That's how I like to play in general. I don't like playing with inside centers. The only time I've done it is to rep farm, so that my center also gets good rep, but it stops me from driving. It stops me from running the pop, the pick and pop, which is pretty much my go-to. It's my bread and butter. So if you like playing with inside centers, that's fine. Don't change it up, but it's gonna limit your scoring drastically and make defending a lot easier for the other team. So what I recommend is have a guard with Hall of Fame playmaking. So I don't like running the BP build because it doesn't have Hoff playmaking, but if you have a BP guard that's playing the 1, that's fine, but just know you'll miss out on a bit. Obviously, Hoff Dimer, Hoff Floor General, super important, but anyway, you want a shooting lock and a shooting center. You can change the builds depending on how you want. I think this Gods will see a lot of triple lock teams, which it's going to be tough. It's going to take out my ISO, but we'll see how it goes. So the two-way slash play at the 1, a rebounding wing or a two-way finisher at the 2, or just any of the green builds, and then a glass lock at the 3. I think that's the most OP build going into this Gods. Of course, it is 3 locks. It'll be the meta, and yeah, what's important on that one, on that lineup, is your two-way slash play is a comp guard. He knows how to shoot off dribble so that they can't just sit deep, and he's able to create a look behind the screen, or he can ISO really well, either or. But that's why I guess you're going to be your deciding factor is how good that two-way slash play is. So my ideal lineup, not what I think the meta is, I like a play shot or playmaker. You can have a two-way slash play. If you have a BP build and that's the only build you have at the 1, that's fine as well. At the 2, the two-way slash play can play the 2 really well, but also a two-way finisher is the most meta right now, and also a rebounding wing. So they're your 2 options, and then at 3, you want to have a shooting center build. That's given, but it can extend, of course. If you have a post playmaker, wink wink, bash, we're running that. But if you have a post playmaker, you can run that. Or if you have a play glass, you can do that as well. If you do want to get crazy and run a play glass, I would really recommend doing a duo of two-way slashing playmakers, and that way your whole team can ISO, so they can't switch a lock on. If they have a BP, they lose, essentially. So yeah, take this info as you will. You might disagree with some of my points. That's fine. Everyone has their own play style, and this video might not suit yours. So take it at face value. Take the tips, take the points that I've brought up, and go into stage or pro-am and just practice. You've got a day now to sort this out. So I hope this helps you. I hope I've presented enough tips and builds and whatnot for you to have a better chance at winning. My next video, it will be hitting legend, unless we win Gods. That'll be the 3-peat, so I think I have to upload that before legend, but I'm 99% to legend. I might be streaming, so check my links in the description to my socials, and you can find out where my legend rep up is. If you want to come out, that's awesome, but yeah, not decided if I'm going to stream it or keep it private. It's a bit iffy. I don't want to get booted, but we'll see. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope I helped you in some way. It's not an event you can say trade lobs in, is it? So that's why I like Gods. You have to win. There's still difficulties, there's still DCs, there's still unlucky things will happen. But this video, I hope it helped.